What's going on, everyone? Lullet here. Amex has their Cash Magnet credit card, and in this video we'll be going over everything you got to know if you're thinking about applying for it. And as someone who's had it for a few years now, I'll be sharing some of my raw and honest thoughts in the second half of this video. So with that, you know how it is. We'll get straight into it. The Amex Cash Magnet gives you an unlimited earn rate at 1.5% cash back. It has no annual fee, and in terms of your sign-up bonus, it looks like the following. You're going to get $200 cash back after $2,000 in purchases in the first 6 months. That's 10% return on purchases. You have a second part of that sign-up bonus dealing with intro APR as well as intro buy now pay later Planet fees, a part of Amex's program, which we'll get into next. In the first 15 months, you have 0% APR on all purchases. In addition, you have $0 in fees associated with their buy now pay later Planet fees program. Also, feel free to pause. There's some extra information for paid and Planet on screen. This card has no annual fee, yet similar to other Amex cards, you have Amex offers, which is essentially deals and promotions for certain merchants. Here's some of my honest thoughts on all of the points we just mentioned. When it comes to earn rate, it's 1.5%. It's not 2% like other cards with no annual fee as well offer. Yet at the same time, if you're looking for purely cash back without anything else, this could be a decent choice. Yet at the same time, there really are competitors, is what I'm getting at, that you may want to consider. Amex's Cash Magnet, the sign-up bonus as well, 10% return on spend, essentially that $200 on the $2,000 you're spending in the first 6 months. If it works with your budget, it makes sense if you're spending in that $2,000 kind of range in the first 6 months. But if you're spending faster than that, there may be other cards which may have a better bonus if you're looking for that specific capability. And at the same time, if it suits your spending style, then it works. The fact is, if you look at certain cards by Chase where you're getting, let's say, $200 back after $500 in spend, or if you look at any other banks out there, the spending threshold could be in that $500 to $1,000, and the return on spend could be same as that $200 that Amex is giving you. Essentially, you can get more for spending the same dollar you would have anyways. The second part of that sign-up bonus was 0% on purchases, as well as those $0 fees for the buy now pay later program associated with Amex for Planet. I would say that it really depends on what your use case is. If you have a big purchase you were going to do anyways, and you didn't want to burn through all your cash and you have good financial discipline, it could make sense to just do this where you incur $0 in fees and then pay over time, and then that way you have that much extra cash in backup as needed, etc. On the other hand, if you're the user type where you're like, hey, my monthly payment is lower, but if this wasn't in a monthly way or in some fashion that it was more affordable and you weren't able to afford this, or it's definitely something you may not even have needed in the first place, naturally I would stay away. As the days go on, even if it's $0 in fees today, later on that can come out to bite you, especially if you're not really managing finances in that section. And so these are kind of promotions that many companies out there will have to attract your business to have that much balance, which is $0 today, but it's kind of marinating in such a way where later you will have to incur those fees if you didn't pay it off by the appropriate time and otherwise. And a quick note about the normal Planet program, depending on what you're looking at, even a fee at 1.33%, some folks may be like, egad, I'm not doing this. At the same time, if that's okay and that makes some sense, then definitely it's up to each person's discretion. I would look into it if you're not having a 0% offer or a huge sign-up bonus in the first place with a new card you're opening. If that makes sense for this method of purchasing, then definitely it makes sense. This isn't financial advice, so if it makes sense for you, it makes sense. I've had the Amex Cash Magnet for a few years now, and I've actually had this card for a longer time than a lot of my other cards. At the same time, I use it one of the least in my whole arsenal. The reason is simple. The earn rate is not that impressive. It's cash back, and I do prefer points, but even if I was getting 2% cash back, it's better than this card. I do have Amex offers that are a part of this card, but frankly, because I've never really used this card in what seems like forever, at the same time, I don't really take advantage of these offers. If there really was even 1 or 2 offers that really made sense, then I definitely would use the card for that offer. But if it's a part of my daily kind of driver for where spend goes, it's not happening. It never happened before, and it's not happening anytime soon. One of the biggest situations where this card actually helped me a lot, surprisingly, is not that it's a pure Amex Cash Magnet, but it could be a strategy use case for you in your own very situation. It's as follows. I was applying for a new card, got basically denied because too much credit was extended to me from Amex. Now, to my memory, it's $32,000. Once you pass that threshold, you may trigger a financial review or some other type of case where they may be less okay with extending more credit than that amount. That being said, I was approved for $20,000 when I got approved for the Amex Cash Magnet. It's not about the amount, but at that time, that basically pushed me straight to that limit. And I couldn't get another approval afterwards until I did some more digging and understanding how I could get around this, why was this happening, etc. So if you're familiar with credit cards, points, and miles, there's something where you can reshuffle the amount of credit extended to you. So because I had credit on the cash magnet and I wanted to approve a different card, I basically moved over some of that 20K over to the other card to basically force that approval. In that case, the cash magnet was one of the best cards I could have ever gotten. At the same time, I really got it not for a good reason, and it wasn't even the $200 sign-up bonus as it is today. It was closer, I think, to $150, and the reason I got it was really as simple as this. I was like a card collector, like baseball, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was just trying to get them all, basically. And it was one of those things across the journey, and that seemed no annual fee. Yeah, it's cash back. Not really going to use it, but it's another relationship point with Amex, and it really helped me in this certain situation for getting that approval for that other card that I was looking to get. If you're purely loyal to American Express, then this card may make sense for any type of use case because it's the only no annual fee cashback type of card that gives you this specific no frills, no thinking about which category is what type of situation. If you don't already have a relationship with Amex, and this would be your first card, let's say, or even the Amex Everyday or the Amex Blue Cash Everyday, all of these cards are no annual fee cards, I would really hold back on not applying for it. Unless if you have a specific use case and the numbers make sense, you may be targeted for a higher offer from one of their other cards, such as the Amex Platinum or the Amex Gold. And especially with the Platinum, you could be targeted up to 150,000 points on your first time as your relationship begins with Amex versus getting a normal public offer of 100,000 points. Points in terms of redeeming for purely cash back, but to make a fair comparison, 50,000 of those points if you redeem at 0.6 cents per point, which means you're essentially getting 60% worth of whatever points in cash. If you do that math, you're getting $300. So a quick example, if you actually value getting the Amex Platinum for that extra 50K, you're actually getting a bigger point value in cash than just getting the cash magnet on its own. Simultaneously with the Amex Platinum, you do have an annual fee, while with the cash magnet you don't. So just depends what you're looking for. If we're being real, there is no ramification from applying after the fact if you were looking just for that $200 in terms of a sign-up bonus with the Amex cash magnet, where if that's worth running your credit and holding a card forever basically without putting too much spend on it, you can definitely do it. Yet it's something to just consider where there may be other options which are definitely more worth it. We'll be covering more cards in the future, so this cash magnet, if it's not working out for you, definitely subscribe for other type of cards we'll cover. But with that, let's keep it going. That being said, does this deserve a space in your wallet? I think you can hear it clearly no. At the same time, when are the use cases you really want it? Yeah, maybe you love cash back. Maybe you really want to stay with American Express and get that 1.5% on everything on the personal side, and you're not looking at any other cards that may have cash back and $0 annual fee, for example with the Amex BCE, the Blue Cash Everyday. At the same time, BNPL, Buy Now Pay Later, with Amex's Planet program, it may make sense for you, and actually Chase's version, I have a video of that, I'll link it over here or here, but with that, I'll see you in the next one.